right, welcome to another episode of Can You Connect? And I am Mr. Walk That Walk. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with the positive affirmations today. I was like, oh man, this seems like a good lineup, and then I clicked on that lineup, and it was like wild. So I didn't look at it beforehand. I was like, so yeah, yep, that happened. More things will happen. Hopefully, maybe I'll look at them next time. But all right, we're gonna get into that this episode. This episode is gonna be on being in a relationship with somebody who has autism. So we're gonna be going over different behaviors or traits and how they may act while you're in a relationship with them to make it easier to understand them. So first off, they are very honest. Even if the honesty is harsh or hard to take in, it's something to keep in mind. So you're gonna have to be okay with hearing the rough truth, but at least they're telling you the truth. That's finding the positive in it. At times they may need alone time. They need time to themselves, especially if they're feeling overstimulated or dealing with a lot of pressure or having more pressure put on them, if it's through work or school. So those are some things to keep in mind. And working on not being resentful towards your partner due to them, let's say, feeling as though they have all this time to themselves to work on themselves, and you have to take up the majority of the responsibilities, let's say. So working on just giving them the benefit of the doubt while being with them due to, what they're dealing with or going through. And it can help learning that your partner has autism. So if you don't know, I can see how that would be challenging. So understanding that they have it will at least give you a better understanding of what they have, so you don't have to. So you're in the loop and you understand why they're doing certain things and why they're not doing certain things. Being aware of the signs when they're becoming overstimulated can be helpful as well. So being aware of the nonverbals, maybe it's a repetitive nonverbal thing they do before they start to become upset, or a repetitive verbal thing. Maybe they're repeating the same thing, which is letting you know they're about to have a meltdown. And working on being understanding that you have to be direct. So if there is something going on that you want them to do, you have to let them know. They're not going to just do it just because maybe they've seen it, like let's say the dishes or taking out the trash. You gotta tell them, you have to give them a direct order to get these things done. So it'll make it easier for both of y'all. So you don't gotta, you say it, they do it. Life is easy. If something changes in a routine, it's important to allow your partner to get a heads up on what's going on, because they need time to process that change, because they usually stick to the routine and like staying on a routine. So if something's going off the routine, that could throw them off. And if you're having children together or kids together, they may often be diagnosed with autism as well. So being aware of that whatever the parent has, they can pass on to their kids. And when you're having a disagreement, at times they may think that they're just having a normal conversation with you, even though you feel that the conversation is an argument. So being aware that they may not know that you're angry or frustrated, why? Due to maybe them not understanding maybe your facial expressions are understanding that you're upset, or them just thinking that it's just a normal conversation. So letting them know, telling them that, hey, I'm upset and I feel like this is a disagreement, or voicing what you're feeling so that they have an understanding of what's going on and that y'all understand each other. And at times, they can also come across as aggressive during conflict. Let's say they do know it's conflict and they do know it's a disagreement. They may become loud or passionate because they have a strong opinion about it. So just being aware of those things. And when it's a lot of conflict, they may need a break from the situation. They may need alone time because that was a lot for them to deal with in that moment. And oftentimes, people with autism may avoid social situations and may avoid going out or interacting with people. Even though you want to go out and socialize, they may stay in the back or, stay to themselves. So that's something to keep in mind. And oftentimes, depending on their level, maybe they could zone out during a disagreement because they're trying to work on finding the right response or thinking of what they should be saying next or the best way to respond back. So they may need time to respond to you in a disagreement, and they may even need a day to process everything about how they felt and how you felt and the things to work on. So they may need time to get back to you. They may not be able to solve the problem right here, right now. And oftentimes they may usually get anxious or worried when they first start their day due to all they got to accomplish or get done. And they oftentimes maybe not have an expression. Sometimes it could be a concern. Sometimes it's not. So at times they can be sensitive to smell or light or temperature. So y'all may be going somewhere to a social environment or that's a new environment for them. And those things may overstimulate them so they're ready to leave and they're ready to go. So just being understanding that these things are heightened and it's times 10 for them. It's on a 1 or 2 for us, which is we're not that concerned with how loud it is or what smells are there or how drastic the temperature changes. We're adapting. But it takes them a while to adapt, and if it's something extreme, that's going to really bother them and they're not going to feel comfortable being there. Which, in point case, they feel more comfortable being at home. That's their environment that they understand and can control to an extent. Oftentimes, it helps not to interrupt them while they're in their routine unless it's maybe an emergency going on. And when you want to connect with them, it's best to connect and have those moments when they're doing something they enjoy. So maybe doing that with them so that y'all have that connection. Because at times they could be, especially if they're doing something they're passionate about, like work, they may be doing it a lot and all the time because that's part of their routine and that's part of something they enjoy. Sometimes it's hard for them to get out of bed or move forward. So you all being their support could help them move forward and go to the next step, or talking them through what they're feeling in that moment. Next, we're going to go to autism in the Black community, but it's autism in general. So some of it will just go back to this is just a general statement for people who have autism, and some of it is how Black people are responding to people who have autism. And oftentimes stigma of having a being diagnosed with something can make somebody feel like a ghost, like they're not seen or not heard. Oftentimes, family members do not acknowledge the person or child with the diagnosis, and they'll be in denial or they'll stop being supportive. So if they stop being supportive, then in turn that makes the family member feel like they don't want to tell anybody else because they don't want to lose a connection. And oftentimes people have, and there's a struggle with the community understanding what the diagnosis is. So they're not educated. So, they're unaware about the struggles with no eye contact, or they're not speaking, or the child turning their back during a family gathering and just lining up toys or doing something repetitive, or leaving the house or wandering off, because those are safety measures that hopefully the neighbors and community know about the child's diagnosis, but they have to be open to telling other people and allowing them to help them. And oftentimes the family may feel like the child's life is over due to them having this diagnosis. So they may, kind of fall apart. So imagine what the child is feeling and seeing in that moment if the parents are feeling that way. And in that moment, they could be reassuring that the child is okay that they're different, rather than their life being over because they're different. And since some are in denial, they'll pray it away rather than getting them help. And since we're not getting them help, it gets harder because they're struggling to connect with people. And, they always kind of feel different. So they're not understanding that until they get a diagnosis and they understand what's going on with them so that they have clarity. However, sometimes when they're diagnosed as a child, right, if the family is feeling like their life is over, they're going to stop them from doing the things that they want to accomplish or do. So some have a later diagnosis and they feel like maybe it's a bit better that they had a later diagnosis as an adult because they were still able to accomplish and get everything done because they were treated the same as everybody else. But some people, they grew up later in life and they feel like they didn't accomplish everything because they had this diagnosis and they didn't understand what was holding them back. So it could be a double sword on that. It could be like, or not really sword because the other person didn't mind that. So maybe a sword or a pillow. They often see the world in a different way. Often become obsessed with certain things. So whether it's sports, they may love a sport so much that they're in that, they're playing the sport and they make it to Olympics and everything, or they're into video games or they're into the cars or whatever they're fixated on, they often get fixated on certain things. So being aware of that and just being understanding of that as well. They often feel as though they have to try to survive by being somebody else. Oftentimes they've been traumatized as a child due to being bullied and may keep things to themselves due to their experiences. And oftentimes want to say the right thing at the right time. So that goes back into them taking their time to respond back. So this will do it for this episode. So these are just things to keep in mind, whether it's family or it's your partner, not just for relationships, but I'm hinting on relationships, pointing towards that because we're all trying to connect and find somebody for us. So these are just certain things to keep in mind. And of course, we're going to be supporting a Black-owned business. This one's just going to be another content creator. They're a video gamer, so I'll just put their YouTube and stuff in the area. They're in the DMV too, so they go to different anime conventions. But they got a big following, so check out the channel. Seem like good people, and of course support the artist and the musician that's part of my videos. That'll be in the description. And myself, I'm a clinical social worker for the state of Maryland that provide individual, family, and couples therapy. So if you're interested, definitely just shoot me an email. That'll be in the description as well. So definitely thank you for watching, and y'all definitely have a good rest of the night and a good rest of the week.
Our lives filled with drama. Our homes, they feel empty. Our dreams slowly shattered, and our bodies are bruised and battered. What does it take to become a legend? What can we do to teach a lesson? Is there a way for a future commitment? Oh, why do we wait to repaint the world? When the world loses its color, it's our goal to paint them back. Yeah, yeah. When the world loses its color, it's our goal to paint them back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Our emotions have no home. Our feelings have long gone. Our beautiful women can't see the beauty in them. Our men are not standing strong. What does it take to become a legend? What can we do to teach a lesson? Whoa, is there a way for a future commitment? Why do we wait to repaint the world? Yeah, yeah. When the world loses its color, it's our goal to bring them back, paint them back. When the world loses its color, it's our goal to paint them back. Yeah, yeah. This world is through that we've been around. We try, we pray to make the best of it. It's hard, I know, on the same boat. But when we make it to heaven, oh, we will all rejoice. Then we will know what it takes to be a legend. But we must know to forgive as our lesson, and that a few gathered makes a difference. So why should we wait till we paint the world?